on this video, we'll call this part 2, the electrical system. We've already put in the battery box, solar controller, Yano's mounting on the solar panel, also putting in a fantastic fan. So we'll run you through what we're doing there. Thanks for watching. Pretty keen to have the fan in the van, along with the solar and 12 volts and all that sort of good stuff. Let's go.
Should I drill a hole up the other side?
In the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have a fuse box here. Take the cover off, positive and negative. Anderson, this will go into our battery, and this will be locked off and go positive and negative. From the fuse box we'll go into the switches for the lights that we're about to run, and from the switch obviously up to the light, but then from the fuse box to our 12 volt power outlet that we're going to be wiring up shortly. Let's go. Hole in the roof done, grommets are in, cables are through the roof, got a couple of connections to do, and we're well on our way. Okay, moment of truth. Solar panels connected. Got connection coming through the roof. We'll tidy this up with cable ties and stuff. Comes down, goes into the wall, along there, up into our controller, and as you can see, we're getting charged. As I was saying before, from the battery to the fuse box, then we'll go from the fuse box to a switch over there somewhere. We've run the cables from the switch up into here already, so then we can just run straight to the lights. Go black carpet. Yeah. May look a little daunting, but it's actually not too bad. Okay, the mess of cables is all coming together. We've got these two front lights wired to one switch down here. Switch hasn't been installed yet. Then we have the back lights to go in. They're going to go in a second. I have another cable up here which I've run for my power to the fan, which we're installing a little bit later, probably in another video. And then I have a separate ground wire, wherever it is, up here, and that I'm going to use as my ground for the lights and also for the fan, which goes right back to the fuse box, which is then obviously connected to the battery via an Anderson plug. So everything will run off the second battery, and I'm pretty excited to get it all sorted and test it out. Definitely not a lot neater up in here now. All the cables behind the black trim. Alright, the moment of truth. We have our Ando, Comedy Commando. I'm going to slap him on in there. I still have to route it all a little bit neater. Ando's in. One set of light. Second set of light.
Yeah, boy.
How would you be? Well, how bright is it with both of them on?
It's pretty good.
It's actually not as bullshit as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to knock your bloody socks off.
G'day, thanks for watching another video. So this is probably going to be part 2 of our van build series kind of thing that we've done. Part 1's already up, which if you've watched it, this is kind of a flow on from that. So obviously in part 1 we built all the drawer box and the bed frame and all that sort of stuff. But what we have done since then, just move my long neck, is obviously we've got these wings that kind of fold up. And they're pretty handy because even when the bed's there, you can kind of get access into here, which is where we've got all of our electrical system, which Jerry's wired up. He's wired up. We've got solar panel on the roof, dual battery system, separate wiring for switches, solar regulator, solar controller I should say, switches for the lights, so front and back, switches for the lights. Done. I've just cut some 7mm ply to act as a ceiling, so we can run all of our cabling through the ceiling space. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do to finish the ply. I thought about painting it, and I thought about leaving it, and I thought about carpeting it, but I think I'll probably carpet it. But it just means I'll have to either do it in position or take it down to make sure I keep it to the same shape so the carpet doesn't stretch. But for now, I'm pretty happy just to have the lights in, the solar on. Put the awning on the side. I'm about to chuck the fridge back in. We've done a couple of test runs with the fridge, and there is nothing better than when you go camping, chuck all your meat in, veggies, everything stays cold, your milk for your coffee in the morning, and obviously plug to my sponsors, which aren't my sponsors yet, but one day Coopers will hit me up and say I like the work you do. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for in here now. I've obviously got the drawers set up. We're going away down the coast, so we're going to do a bit of filming. Jerry, do you want to run through all the 12-volt stuff? I mean,
yeah, I'll run you through it. So, what we have, as Jano said, there's a solar panel on the roof, which comes through the roof at the back and then down through this little section here. So we basically run it up through a channel above the false ceiling here, comes down into this black panel all the way along, comes into a well, the solar panel goes into the solar controller, and then back out into our battery, and then from our battery, so it comes out into here, basically comes down out here, wraps around, plugs in by the Anderson. That's a little fuse box. That's a little fuse box there. And then we basically have a fuse box from the battery, which then goes up to 2 separate switches, one for the front, one for the back lights, obviously. And then another fused power outlet just at the back there for charging your phone or your iPad or whatnot. I think Jano's planning to do some little insert panels at the back here, which could be good to put an iPad or whatever for when you're staying overnight in the car park waiting to do a surf check, or if I steal his van and go on a photography mission. Could be good. That's pretty much it. Curious to see what you think about the ceiling, guys. You reckon you should stain it and clear it, or carpet it, or rip it down? Let us know what you think. Also, the other thing that we have done, that we have a separate video on, Jerry's filmed, I cut this sliding panel
window in, which is so awesome for when you're camping. Just lets the air flow through, and I have a fan to go on the roof, but don't know if I'm going to bother yet. There we go. Let us know what you think.
What about this part?
Oh yeah, I put a little drawer, a little table. So that's kind of handy for your
Yeah.
yeah.